Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you from wherever you are watching this video from. I am Ranjan Dhar, co-founder of Nibble Foods. Our mission and vision is to empower all and generation next with healthy, delicious, nutritious, sustainable snacking options without compromising on taste. First of all, I would like to take a moment and thank our viewers, our subscribers, well wishers, and above all, our distinguished guests, past, present, and future, who have been kind and gracious enough to speak with us and support us in this health transformational journey. It's heartening to see our healthy family of subscribers growing by the day. Please do continue supporting us in our vision and mission as we intend to bring more such informational content, podcasts full of health and transformational stories to you in the near future. So today I have the honor, pleasure and privilege of speaking with a special guest. He's a man of many hats, an aeronautical engineer by profession. He's also a chef, world traveler, stroke survivor, and author of the book Miracle in the Desert. His name is Marco Giovannoli. And welcome, Marco, and thank you for giving us your valuable time.
Well, thank you, Rajan. Thank you very much for having me here and with you. And I say hi to everyone. Ciao to everyone.
Ciao. Yeah. So, Marco, I was going through your bio. What interested me most is I saw that you were kind of very active, right, in your health and life overall. So, I wanted to understand what was your life like prior to the stroke and events led to the stroke. If you could help us understand.
So, like you said, I was really healthy and active. Basically, I was a ultra runner, desert runner. I was running between 5 to 6 times per week. Normally, I would run before going to work because I live in the Middle East, in the UAE, where it's really hot. We are in desert country. So here you have to run normally between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. So I was used to run every morning, most, and long run in the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, one morning was the 8th of September 2022.
Okay.
I did not have any health condition. I was perfectly healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So one morning I went to run in the desert. It was the 8th of September 2022. I did a run that I've done 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 10-kilometer run here in Abu Dhabi, in the desert of Abu Dhabi, with my colleagues and friends from a running team.
Mm-hmm.
We ran 10K. When we stop, I say, okay, I look at my watch. So my watch it was supposed to do 10K. My watch was say like 9K point 700 meters. I say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm going to my girlfriend. I say, I'm going to do the last 300 meters. I will come back here. So what I did, I dropped the water bottle to the car and I start running. I did probably 150 meters. I could not feel it anymore. My legs, I fall on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on the ground. At the beginning, I thought, okay, maybe it's all heat exhaustion, maybe I'm tired. So a friend of mine passed by to me, told me, are you okay? I said, yeah, yes, I'm okay. I'm just tired.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to find all the energy. I said, okay, let me go back to the car. I stood up. I did maybe another 10 meters. I could not stand anymore. I fall on the ground.
Okay.
I honestly at that time I didn't know what stroke was. I
Mm-hmm.
thought, okay, like I told you before, I thought, okay, maybe I'm just tired. I need just to rest a little bit. Maybe I did it. So it was because it was September, so it was still hot in the UAE in the desert. It was above 30 degrees. So I didn't know. So people, my friends come to me, closer to me. My girlfriend, she was trying to give me some water, and I told her, "Where is my right arm? Where is my right hand? I cannot feel anymore my right side of the body." Something that I've never any experienced that one.
Okay.
So there was some other colleagues say, "Oh, maybe this is something serious. Let's call the emergency."
Mm.
So they call the ambulance. They arrive maybe very quick. They were really quick to respond. They arrive, and the guys look at me, check my reaction. My face was very drooping. My eye, my mouth was coming down. They say, probably this is a stroke. They do some test. You have to move your arm, your legs. I was able only to move once, and afterwards I could not move anymore my right side.
Mm.
They said, this is a stroke. We have to bring you to the hospital.
Okay.
So but I was healthy. Honestly, until today, I have no idea if the reason of my stroke. I don't know if that was that run was the reason for the stroke. Even when I went to the hospital, the doctor did all the type of checks. They did not have cholesterol, they did not have high blood pressure, I did not have any sugar, I did not have any issue, but so they could not give me a reason why I had the stroke.
Mm. Okay.
Basically, in my left neck here, the left side of my neck, one artery broke, and so basically create the blood clot that stop the blood to go to left side of my brain.
Okay.
That's why also because of that one, I have paralysis on my right side of my body.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, your whole right side was, I mean, not moving at all, right? So, I
Yes.
mean, as you said, you still don't know the reason of the stroke, right? So, I mean, what did the, I mean, did the doctors do any kind of tests? I mean, did they come up with something?
Yes. Well, they let me do a lot of tests, neurological tests to find the reason.
Mm-hmm.
They come up with some hypotheses. One could be the excessive exercising, because there are a lot of strokes come from excessive exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you do say sudden movement with your neck, just to make something. I'll give you something fun story. You know when you go to ladies when they go to their dresser, they wash their hands with the head behind, walking down. There is a type of stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
also I met some other stroke that similar my stroke when they do exercise. The second say maybe was is there a congenital system that my veins are really they have really thin wall, they can easily break. But I did some MRI, some scan, the doctor's neurologist says no, cannot be that one. So I don't know. Someone in the Middle East we say inshallah, for God will.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that's what. Maybe I think sometimes I think that was the reason they want to give. God decided to give me this one to make me a better person.
Right, right. I mean, also, I mean, one of the reasons that could be that I can think of is maybe it was an excessive running that you did that day or prior to that day that led up to it. That could be one of the reasons you think.
Yeah, it's possible because 4 days before the stroke, I
Mhm.
did my last competition. I ran 62 kilometers for a charity run.
Wow.
So I don't know. I will never know that. Maybe that run was the reason why of my stroke. There
Right.
also is. I talk with the doctor also do some lot of research.
Mm.
Artery dissection like mine
Mm.
can even start months earlier. It
Mm.
cannot be, it's not only sudden, can be also start weeks or months earlier. So I
Right.
never know what happened.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult. I mean, since you were very active and healthy, I mean, it's quite, I mean, unnatural that this happened,
Yeah.
right? But yeah,
In
as you
fact, a lot
said,
of people,
mhm.
in
Go
fact, a
ahead.
lot of people, a lot of stroke survivors asking me, how is it possible you were so healthy, you got the stroke? I say, I will never know.
Right, right. Yeah. And like I said, I mean, it could be that after that 60-kilometer run, your body did not recover enough, right, to allow you to have, I mean, more pressure on it, right? I mean, it could be any of the reasons, right? I mean, we will not
Yeah.
know, right? So I also wanted to understand, I mean, prior to the stroke, what was your eating habits like? I mean, what type of diet you maintained?
I try to eat healthy because I was trying, because I wanted to be fit because as a runner.
Mm-hmm.
So I live in the Middle East while I'm Italian. So I try to keep a Mediterranean diet. However, being the Middle East, I've been used also to the food, the local food, in Indian food as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really fond of Indian food as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to have some sort of balance. I was not really a big drinker. I was only a social drinker. I only drink a little bit of coffee. Being Italian, coffee was part of my diet.
Sure.
But I was trying to retain maybe maximum 3 or 4 coffee per day. So I
Okay.
was trying to have a balanced diet
Mm-hmm.
as much as possible.
Okay, okay. So, I mean, when this stroke happened, the day this stroke happened, so what was like, I mean, for 12 months, how did you cope up with it mentally, physically?
Well, it's a journey.
Hmm.
It's very difficult. It's basically it's a mix between physical recovery, mental and emotional recovery as well. And plus it's spiritual journey because I felt when I woke up in the hospital, a lot of questions start running in my head. You know, I say stroke is an identity thief. It basically it takes out away the identity that you had because from one day you are active, the next day you are in the hospital, you cannot move. You start thinking, because also at the beginning I could not talk. I had speech disorder at the beginning. So it took almost 1 week until I could really speak. I don't say properly, but I was able to speak. Because the first few days I could not speak. For a week I could not speak at all. So in your head, start having question. Will I recover? Will I ever be able to use my right hand? Will I ever be able to walk? Because I could not walk. I say I will be able to go back to work and I will become a burden to my family. What is going to happen with me? And the first few days you are just your head is just running this question with you. It's the time also you look outside the window, you start asking to talk to God and say, why to me? Why up to me? Why you did do this to me? What did I do wrong? Why I upset you so much that you gave me this situation? Until you start thinking yourself, say, okay, maybe that's not the way to approach a situation like this. I would say the recovery journey is not linear. I start very strong with my head. My head, I say, no, I'm going to recover. I was really focused on my recovery. In fact, within a month, I started working again. Because after 2 weeks, I was moved to a rehabilitation center in the UAE. And there I had the therapist, and we worked so hard that after 1 month, I was able to walk. I walk with a limp still today because I still have some weakness in my right leg, but I was able to walk. I was walking with assisted with a cane, and it was okay. But I created wrongly. My issue was I created wrong mind map. I told myself first. I say in 1 month I was fully recovered. When I reached 1 month, I was not fully recovered. I say, okay, in 3 months I will recover. When I reach 3 months, I say, okay, in 6 months I will recover. When I reached 6 months, I was not recovered. There, the world crumbled under my shoulder. And there I felt depressed. There I entered in depression. Because I say, okay, now what? 6 months are passed and I'm not recovered. So was because also in the stroke, they tell you the first 6 months are the golden period called where you recover the most possible. And within 6 months, my hand was not moving. I say, oh my God, they will never move again. So there I felt really strong and I felt depressed. So I got in depression. But there was moment that really changed my life. What I did, I started doing a lot of therapy, professional therapy. I was talking with my girlfriend, my family, my sister, my parents. And then I started talking with myself. I said, okay, I have only two options. Either I move forward, I stop here, and I'm going to regret my life forever. I say, okay, you know what I tell you? I look at myself to the mirror. I say, okay, you move forward. Every day you are going to move forward because you are going to be the best of yourself. And from there, I slowly start working on myself, like a lot of introspection. That was the time I started writing again. So just to give you I always wrote my entire life. When I was a kid, I really loved writing, in Italian, of course. But I didn't write for a long time. After the stroke, I decided, okay, writing, because they say always writing is good for therapy. So I started writing again about my stroke. And then when I started writing my books. And also I write about stroke in my social media every day. It's part of my daily life today. So there I start slowly make change the way I'm looking at the life. Writing and the way I approach life make me more authentic and vulnerable to the situation. I start accepting what happened to me. And today I say, okay, my right hand doesn't work. I accept doesn't work. I know, I pray every day that it will wake up one day. But also I'm at peace with myself. If it doesn't come back, I have much more things. I say always, I may have lost identity of a runner, again, identity of other things. More than running, I get more other things. I mean, now I get more emotion. Probably my emotional intelligence is much higher than ever. I got a little bit more close to people. I experienced the kindness of people. Ranjan, sorry, one thing. I have still a bit of a speech disorder, so
That's
my
all
speech
right.
sometimes it sounds a little bit blurry.
That's all right, Marco. We understand. I mean, you have been through a tough phase. You are still going through a tough phase, right? I mean, we all support you, and I mean, please do not worry about your speech or anything else. I mean, it's absolutely fine. So Marco, you said that, I mean, your right side is completely paralyzed, or it's, I mean, you are able to still move. I mean, you are able to move your leg, but your hand, it's still paralyzed.
Yeah. Yeah, my hand is paralyzed. My arm and my shoulder are semi-paralyzed. They are still weak. I cannot move my arm above my shoulder level.
Okay.
And my hand, I'll show you, is closed like this.
Okay.
Basically, there is excessive tone of the muscle, so my fingers are closed.
Okay, okay.
I I can walk, but I can walk with a limp
Mm,
because I cannot control my foot.
right.
So what I have to do whenever I walk every step, I have to mentally ensure that I raise my knee higher than the ground because otherwise my foot will catch the ground and I will trip.
Mm, right. I mean, did the doctor say anything about? I mean, obviously you did some physiotherapy, but will that help in the long run, or yoga? I mean, some sort of therapy that might recover you fully.
Well, the issue is the brain, so nobody knows. Of course, they tell you have to try everything. So I try everything.
Mm,
I've done massage, Ayurvedica, I do everything. I do therapy, I do exercise, I do everything possible. But nobody knows. It's probably the brain. Basically, the stroke is basically is the link between the brain, the muscle is broken.
mm,
So you never know.
right,
Okay, the brain is so smart that it gets get better. That's why also I regain a little bit of control of my movement. But
right,
nobody knows if I'll ever be able to control again my hand.
right, right. Yeah, I mean, and also, I mean, like after the stroke, it's been like what, 2 years now, after the
2
stroke.
years. Yeah, I just passed 2 years last month.
Right. So, how has your life been like? I mean, has it changed in the form of, I hope you are still maintaining some sort of a healthy lifestyle, although the movements are restricted to some extent, right?
Yes, because nowadays I cannot run because I physically cannot run. So
Right.
I walk every morning. Now I replace running with walking in the morning before going to work. I
Mm,
do exercise at home because I still have to do physiotherapy myself.
okay.
And I try to eat healthy because again, the issue of the stroke, once you get the stroke, every doctor is really scared that you may get a second stroke because
Mm,
there is a high chance to get a second stroke.
mm,
Actually, you have even most chance to get the third stroke after the second stroke.
mm,
So I'm trying to eat a balanced diet, try to eat as much as possible vegetables,
mm,
and reduce the carbs, increase the fruit,
mm.
and I also reduce the alcohol intake. I almost don't drink anymore. I also remove coffee. I only drink tea now. I'm
Okay.
only a tea of. I only drink of tea at the moment, and I try to balance everything because, like you said, the life has changed completely.
Mm,
Whatever I was doing in the past, I cannot do it anymore at the moment. So, I mean, you stroke was a teacher for me. He taught me a lot about myself, also about living a new life. I say I have to create a new identity of myself. Today, I do a lot of advocacy for stroke survivors, for
mm,
people of determination in the workplace, because I was lucky enough to go back to work
mm,
because I don't have cognitive issues, so my brain works perfectly. I
mm,
have only physical limitations, so I'm allowed to go back to work and work. So I do a lot of advocacy as well in that part of the world. So I've changed, my identity has changed.
mm.
I hope in better. I believe in better. I let the people to decide and judge if actually I'm better than before.
Right, right. And I mean, you mentioned a brief while about your family and friends, right? So, how are they now? I mean, how are they supporting you now in this journey?
They have been very close to me because I'm living in the Middle East. I live with my girlfriend here. My family, my father, mother, and sister, they live in Italy, back in Italy.
Okay.
So the morning that happened, my sister took a flight. The next day was with me here in Abu Dhabi.
Mm,
I tell you a funny story. When I arrived, when she arrived, I was in the ICU.
mm,
She arrived very late in the evening.
mm,
She told me, I don't know because I don't remember. She told me that I was lying in the bed. There was a piece of paper in my left hand.
mm.
She said, as soon as she saw me from far away, she told me she felt that I was awake, was conscious. And as soon as she arrived beside me, she put her hand on top of mine. She told me, I opened my hand, the piece of paper dropped from my hand. I took her hand. And she said, he's alive. The guy is alive. So they have been very close. Afterwards, my father and mother came here. They stayed with me 6 months. And so they have been very close to me. Probably they have, with my girlfriend, they are the best cheerleader they have, the most supporter. We talk every day. I think the stroke brought me back closer to them as well. Made me understand what is really important in life. Family is one of the most important things in life.
Right, absolutely.
That connection, stroke allow me to bridge back with cousin, with long-term fun, even with childhood friends, even school friends that I haven't seen 30 years. We get closer again because of my stroke.
Right, right. So you are still continuing with your job in the Middle East as aeronautical engineer, or you have left it?
Yeah. I'm still here. I was allowed to return to work 5 months after because I told you I don't have any cognitive issue. So they made me medical assessment. They say, okay, I have only physical. So I have some adjustment at work, but because my brain works fine, they say, okay, you can return to work. I only use my left hand to work, but it's fine. Actually, I had that adaptation to my screen, to my keyboard, to everything, but I can work because my brain, I think my brain has never been sharp as I have is today.
Right. And how did your, I mean, if I could ask this, how did your employers support you? Were they cognizant of it? They
They
understood
were really
your situation?
supportive. They were really supportive since the first day because the morning it happened, master was really morning, it was 6 o'clock in the morning. So at 9 o'clock, they could not see me coming to work. So they started to call me on my phone. But I was at the hospital, so my phone was with my girlfriend. She replied, say, oh, Marco happened, this and that is at the hospital. So what did happen? Everyone left the job, they came all to the hospital to see me. So from that day until now, they are beside me every day.
Right.
And really, my employer, my colleagues, everyone has been really kind with me. They try to do everything to make me feel the most important things. They never treat me as a disabled people. They treat me like I was before the stroke.
Right, right, right. Yeah, absolutely. That's very important. I mean, to have support from your employer, and above all, I mean, you don't lose your job, right? That's the ultimate thing,
Yes,
right? So,
yes.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
No, because this is an issue in the Middle East. As a spot, we work. As soon as you get a stroke, you have to leave the country because most of the employer will never keep you here. I know few people that had the stroke here, they have to leave the country because the employer will not ever allow them to work.
Right.
Actually, I always say, my employer is probably one of the best. I don't know if I were ever working for another employer, I would have got the same situation, the way they treat me.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I mean, to have such an employer, right? So, Marco, it didn't ever cross your mind that no, let's leave here, let's go back to my family in Italy and do something there. I mean, after this incident.
Yes, at the beginning, yes, but after when I was at the hospital, they have to make a call. So after while the second week I was out of the ICU, I was in the stroke. I forgot even the word, the stroke ward. And people must ask me, "What do you wanna do? You wanna stay here? You wanna go back to Italy?" After I say, my family, my life is here. What I'm going to do back to Italy? Also, my idea was to go back to work. So my idea was first I told you I say I go to recover in 1 month. So I say if I recover in 1 month, I want to be here because after 1 month I want to go back to work. Although I went back to work after 5 months. So at the end I say also the treatment here in the Middle East was really good compared to what I could find in Italy. Because again, thanks to my employer, I had a very good health insurance because here everything is private insurance. So I had everything covered. And so I say, and I found the most amazing professional here between doctors and therapists. Nowadays, my doctor and my therapist are a friend of mine. I always say, which doctor you can text me on WhatsApp and say, oh, I need this. What do you think? That's what is my rehabilitation doctor today.
Mm.
So
Well,
that's why at the end they say, okay, no, I feel so good here that I don't want to go back to Italy.
yeah, absolutely. And that was one of the most courageous decisions you took, right? I have to say that, right?
Yeah,
Because,
yeah, most probably yes.
mm,
Today, after you, I tell you, I think I've taken the right decision. I
right,
have no regret of that decision.
absolutely, absolutely. So, also, if I could ask, I mean, did it ever cross your mind? I mean, you said that you made up your mind that you wanted to recover. You were, I mean, prepping yourself up for it. So did it ever cross your mind that no, let me take a wheelchair, it will make life easier for me, all those sort of things?
Uh, no, because since the first day, I said, okay, I'm going to recover because my goal was to run an 100. Just to give you 1 month after, I was supposed to go run a marathon in Budapest. So
Okay.
my aim was okay. Actually, what I said that morning, I said to my friend, as soon as they release me from the hospital, I'm not going to work. I stay home. I'm going to rest for this week. I'm going to back work next week. So for me, I was recovered because I want to go back to Budapest, go to Budapest and run my marathon in October.
Mm.
So I decided no, I'm not going to use the wheelchair.
Okay.
So after maybe 1 week, they try to make me standing. They help me to stand. Luckily, I put every energy that I had. I say I'm going to recover.
Mm.
Although my hand was not working, I said, okay, that will take a little bit longer. But I say, I'm not going to use the wheelchair because I want to run. Also, when I was at the hospital, at the rehabilitation center, they want me make use the cane
Mm.
to walk.
Okay.
I didn't want. I say, no, I don't want to use the cane. I want to walk myself.
Mm.
Because if I use the cane, I will need always to use the cane. And I don't want to use it.
Right.
And so from there, I was using also orthosis for my leg. And after 3 months, I drop it away. I say, I want my brain to learn again to how to walk normally. So
Mm.
I drop any aid. I say, no. And I decide I'm going to walk myself. Even today, sometimes, when I walk, my girlfriend say, take the
Mm.
rail when you go down the stairs. I say, no, I
Mm.
want to walk without handrail because otherwise I will never learn how to go up and down the stairs.
Mm. 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 Right. I mean, you're a truly brave and courageous man, I would say that. Right. I mean, you have toughened your mind after the stroke even more. I mean, your
Yeah,
mind is very
you have to,
healthy, I would say.
yeah, you need to talk with yourself. I always say sometimes I need to be my own superhero.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's why I say, I always say myself, I always say tomorrow is going to be a better day.
Mm.
Every night I go back to sleep and I say, tomorrow I'm going to recover.
Mm. Mm.
Okay, it will not happen. Okay, I say, okay, I'm happy. I did something good today. Tomorrow it's going to be better than today. And
Mm.
I move on like this every day.
Mm.
Also because I always think there is so much things you can do in life.
Mm. Mm.
So that's why I'm a positive. I want to be stay positive. I want to be committed to my goals. I
Mm.
have so many goals in the advocacy world
Right.
that's what I want to do. So every day I look forward to do so. I think life is beautiful. I hope I want to smile every day because I like life.
Yep, for sure. Right. And also, if I could ask you, did it ever cross your mind that, I mean, maybe the doctors in Middle East are not that well equipped. Let me go to USA or UK or some other place where there are good doctors and let me fix this and check it out more.
Well, honestly, I did. I thought a few times, but I never done it because at the end, I think doctors is something that you have to trust
Mm.
because they don't have answer for everyone.
Mm.
Sometimes you need to trust what they tell you. And
Mm.
I got so close and connected to my doctor, my rehabilitation doctor, that I trust him like he's my brother.
Mm.
So that's why I thought, but I never took a second opinion.
Okay. Okay. I mean, do you still intend to take a second opinion, maybe few months or year down the line, or you have closed that tab?
It's possible. You never know. Life, you never know what's going to happen to life. So
Mm.
nowadays, also because I'm involved with the World Stroke Organization, maybe I will find some doctor they may help me with something new.
Mm.
I'm always looking for new option
Mm.
because I love research. I'm an engineer, So I'm always looking what is the new research on the field of stroke recovery.
Mm-hmm. So, so Marco, you said after the stroke, now that you are reaching some sort of normalcy, right? So, what would you tell other such stroke survivors like you, right? I mean, what exercises, or you said you walk in the morning, right? So, what sort of plan they should follow? I mean, in their lifestyle.
Definitely, you have to walk a lot because you have to move. You can do also static bike. I do also a lot of static bike as well.
Mm.
Of course, every stroke is different. So it's very, you cannot generalize even with the recovery plan of a stroke survivor.
Right.
So try to be as healthy as possible, eat healthy, eat vegetables,
Mm.
try to do exercise, physiotherapy, whichever exercise is a good exercise. You
Mm.
need to move. We have to move. Anyway, we have to move. Even walking to the grocery, walk outside the park at work,
Mm.
going to see a friends, talking around is still good. We have to do exercise. We have to move. We have to do something.
Right, right. We just can't sit and say that I mean, I'm paralyzed or I'm not helpful enough, right? That should be thrown
Yeah.
out of the mind. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to stay positive. You have to think that life is beautiful, that we are stronger than our stroke. I mean, it's everything in our brain. Our head control everything. I always say the head, our mind is our best friend, but also our worst enemy. So you have to be able to balance and be able to control your head, what is telling you, when it speaks to you.
Mm, mm, mm. Right. So, I mean, now let's talk about your book, The Miracle in the Desert, right? So, how did you plan about it? I mean, obviously, your incident was the inspiration, right? But how did you go about approaching this book?
So I told you, I always write. I always wrote in my life since I
Mm,
was a child.
mm,
So in my entire life, I say I want to write a book. But I always thought I don't know which subject to write.
mm, mm,
So I say I don't like fiction. I
mm,
like non-fiction. I'm no fiction guy because I'm an engineer. So I like numbers. I like data.
mm,
I like story. I
mm,
like history. I like cultural story. So after my stroke, I had three incidents.
mm,
First, my girlfriend, she told me you have to write, you should write a book.
mm,
After my therapist had told me, you should write a book to inspire any others people like you to
mm,
show what they can do and achieve. A
mm.
third was my mother, and she told me one day when we were talking like this, like you in a WebEx, she told me, yesterday I read on internet was some random lady in Italy that had the stroke and wrote a book about the stroke. And after I say, once, okay, can be just a chance that someone tell you to write a book. Twice, someone told you to write a book is something. When you get three times, someone tell you to write a book, probably that is the reason why you have to write a book. So from there, it was like 6 months after I got my depression that I started writing my book. Actually, I wrote two books because I wrote in English and Italian.
Mm.
Probably I'm lucky enough to know basically two language, especially in writing. So I was able to write in English, and now I have basically two books because also in Italian.
Right, right. Yeah, and for all our viewers, our audiences, I mean, we will have the link to that book in our description and also in the pinned comment. So please do check it out. And I'm very eager to read it as well. I haven't got the time yet to read it, but I'll definitely read it, Marco. So it's a truly inspiring story that you told us. I mean, your mind is tough, and I mean, and your body will follow, I'm sure. So thank you so much for having this great conversation with us today. And I'm just going to end it with an equally great and powerful lines. Now, I'm not an elocutionist, but I will try my best to do justice to these words. So here it goes. It's called Whispers of Courage. In a world of uncertainty, a stroke did unfold. A sudden interruption, a story yet untold. A tempest in the mind, a storm within the soul. Yet through the darkest hours, strength begins to grow. Like a whisper in the wind, life took an unexpected turn. But within this new journey, there is so much we can learn. With each step forward, resilience finds its way. a spirit undeterred, finding hope in every day. So these words, this poem is written by none other than our esteemed guest Marco. So yeah, I mean these are powerful lines, Marco, and thanks for sharing this with us, right? So I hope we can have more such stories and lines from you in future.
Thank you, Rajan. I thank you very much for having me here. Like you said, I recommend everyone to read my book, Miracle in the Desert. You can be find in Amazon. Like I say, this is the cover. This is again the title. The picture is inspired by my girlfriend. She told me I'm a miracle in the desert
Mm.
because that morning I die and is reborn in the desert.
Right, right. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah. Cool.
I'm looking forward. I will continue my work in advocacy for the stroke, for people of determination, because life is beautiful. Let's smile to life. Let's be strong in our head, because if our head wants, our body can move, like you said.
Absolutely. And we I sincerely hope that I again have the time, and you also have the time to talk with us in future and share us the updates on your journey, right? Any new book, any new story that you have to tell, that will be our honor and privilege to have you with us again. So yeah, thanks, Marco.
Thank you, Ranjan. Thank you, everybody. Ciao, ciao. See you next time. Let's talk next time.
Yeah, so thank you all for watching. So please do like, share our video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be bringing more such super healthy and fascinating content to you in the near future. So do support Marco and Nibblewell Foods in this health transformation journey. You can get information about Marco, his book, Miracle in the Desert, in the video description and the pinned comment below. So until next time, stay healthy, stay fit.